Yeah, so I want to dig a little bit deeper on what they're not going to be. Because when I was in admissions offices for my last book, the unicorn that they were always looking for was that male student who wanted to study the humanities. Can you talk a little bit about societal expectations of masculinity and identity when it comes to even just a simple thing as a college major? I'm sure some of it is that what majors men perceive also make more money after college, but it's amazing to me when we were in, especially at these more selective colleges, you were talking about there's not as much of a divide at selective colleges overall in enrollment, but there definitely is a divide within schools and disciplines and majors, right? It's really hard to find a lot of males in the humanities, for example.
Yeah, so it's very clear that young men in particular are making more of an economic calculation, right? If they are going, it is because they have bought into the sense that it's going to pay off economically. I mean, I have my own son one of my kids is still in college, and he's kind of obsessed with what different majors are going to earn, right? He's constantly tried to switch to computer science because he'd looked at the charts. And first of all, I'm like, the variation around these means is huge, right? So, and by the way, you'd be better off getting a good GPA in whatever he's doing economics. So what you are doing than trying to switch up. But I got the sense that was a real conversation among him and a lot of his male friends that wasn't quite the same maybe among the women. And so what does that mean? I think it means that colleges have to do a better job of making sure that the overall offering is more kind of economically attractive, right? But it also probably means that they have to do a better job of sort of breaking down some of the gender stereotypes around some of those roles, right? Actually, are those jobs the ones that are not going to pay as well? I mean, you've mentioned humanities, but I think it's very interesting that we see real declining shares of men in areas like psychology and some of those mental health professions. And so where, yes, it's a lot of education, but that's not a terrible living. Or ed schools into teaching. K-12 teaching is an area I'm a little bit obsessed with, and I think relates to our earlier conversation about why boys aren't doing so well in K-12, or maybe the 10 percentage point drop in male teachers from 33% to 23%. Hasn't helped, but getting kind of men into those sorts of courses as well might in some ways be even more important than getting them into the humanities.